Hey Frag fam, Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So today we're going to be talking about a fragrance from the house of Scentual Obsessions, which if you do not know, they are an indie house and they tend to focus on kind of inspired by fragrances or clones, or they do basically combo fragrances where they take two different popular fragrances and make their own formulation of the two of them combined. In this case, we are talking about a clone fragrance, and this is a clone of the original formulation of Aventus. So if you do not know, Aventus has been through two reformulations. The biggest one happened in 2013. The original formulation of Aventus had the note of cade oil, which is more colloquially known as birch tar, and that's what gave Aventus this smoky quality. So this is a clone focusing specifically on that first formulation of Aventus. So if you're interested in hearing about my thoughts on this fragrance, if it's worth it, if it's good, if it's bad, please stick around. But first, let's roll that intro. Alright, welcome back. So like I said, we are talking about a fragrance from the house of Scentual Obsessions. Again, this is a clone of the original or first formulation of Aventus. The fragrance is right here. It is called Smoky Aventus. And there's no presentation with these. They just come with a little felt drawstring bag and then the bottle itself. So we're not gonna go over the presentation or any of that stuff. We are gonna dive straight into the fragrance itself. Okay, so like I said, we are gonna be diving straight into the fragrance itself, talking about the scent and all that good stuff. So again, here's the bottle right here. This is the 30 milliliter size. I believe you can get this in 50 and even 100 mils as well, but I just went with the tiniest one. Now, if you look online or you search this fragrance up, even if you're on the website, there isn't a listed note breakdown, at least not from what I can find. So I'm not able to go over the notes specifically. However, this is an inspired by fragrance from Aventus, so you'd probably imagine they're using a lot of the same notes here. So I imagine and based on the smell, there's probably pineapple in here, black currant, some kind of woody note, whether that's birch or cedar, something along those lines. There's probably a musk in here, you know, just using it as a binder, giving it that stage for all these notes to play on. And I would imagine there's a little vanilla in here as well, because this is a little bit sweet. So like I said, this is an inspired by fragrance like Aventus. Does it kind of get in that ballpark? Definitely. To me, when I first sprayed this on, and I actually did spray it on here a few minutes ago just to kind of get that opening, I also have the Drydown on my wrist, and from the first blast, you can tell that they are definitely going after the Aventus DNA. It is fruity, it is sweet, it does have that kind of citrusy touch that you get with Aventus, you know, that kind of sharp touch that it has. And in this case, I think it is getting you in that ballpark. To me, it does not smell the exact same, and honestly, I don't think there will ever be a clone that is 100% dead on. You know, that's basically impossible for them to do unless they have the exact blending techniques and the exact ingredients that Creed is actually using with their fragrances. But for a cheap, you know, little 30 milliliter inspired by fragrance like this, I think this cost me $30, maybe $40 from what I can remember. It gets you somewhat close, and I do think as far as a clone, this is superior to Mont Blanc Explorer and even Club de Nuit Intense Man. Those are the popular ones, which is why I named those specifically. And in my opinion, this is a little bit better. Like I said, this is going after the original formulation of Aventus. So this shouldn't theoretically just smell like Aventus, but it should smell like those original batches, which if you did not know, like I said, those original batches had cade oil in them, which is also known as birch tar. It was this ingredient that has been banned for use because of allergens and stuff, but it gave the fragrance a really, really smoky quality, almost like a lit cigarette kind of smokiness. I do actually have an old bottle of Aventus. You can tell by the atomizer right here. I could try and show you on the back here, but I don't think it shows up on camera because it's etched. This is batch 13NB01, which again is from 2013, so this is an original formulation batch. I do actually have a spray on my wrist right here. And I mean, the quality on this is obviously far, far superior. Not only that, there is more smokiness in this thing as well. So like I said, they're trying to go for that smoky kind of like flavor that the fragrance is supposed to have from these original batches. And in this case, it does kind of have this dark woodiness to it that separates itself from modern batches of Aventus. So if you get like a clone fragrance like Explorer, for example, even Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is a little bit smoky, but not really, you know, they're mostly fruity, citrusy. They're kind of going after those modern batches. This one does kind of have this like dark, woody, you could almost say smoky quality to it, but it's not the same as the original batches of Aventus like this one right here. So to me, when I first spray it on, like I said, you do get that fruitiness, that citrusy touch. It does have that DNA in there. You can tell that they're going after an Aventus style DNA, but it is not the exact same. And I do get kind of this weird, I would call it almost like a nail polish or like some kind of paint thinner kind of smell, where it is really chemically and it is kind of off-putting at that initial blast. Don't worry, that does settle down pretty quickly after about a minute or so. And then, you know, once it's been on your skin for a few minutes, you can tell that, you know, there is kind of this smokiness there. But like I said, it's not the same style of smokiness that you have in these original batches. These ones right here smell almost like a lit cigarette, like a very photorealistic, smoky quality, ultra heavy, ultra harsh, very, very smoky. This one, like I said, it is synthetic and it does have a harsh quality to it, but it's not harsh because of the smokiness per se. I think it's just because of the ingredients they're using here. It is like sharp, heavy, woody, but not like a true smoke note in the sense. So it is darker and you could say smokier than like a modern like formulation of Aventus or any kind of modern clone, but it's not a true smoky note in my opinion. Now once you get into the dry down, things get a little bit better for this fragrance in my opinion. So with this fragrance, the original formulation of Aventus, that smokiness does not stick around forever, or I should say the intense smokiness. In the dry down, this thing does get a lot brighter, more citrusy, more musky, even a little bit sweeter. You do lose that kind of harsh, heavy smokiness, and you kind of get the same thing here. You lose that kind of harsh, synthetic, like nail thinner, or excuse me, paint thinner, or like the nail polish smell that I was talking about earlier, and it does get fruitier, more vibrant, and just better smelling in my opinion. So I think in the dry down, these are a lot more similar. You can still get a touch, just a small touch of that smoky quality, or you know, that heavy woody quality that I was talking about here. And even that alone, I think separates this from any other kind of modern Aventus clone or even modern batch of Aventus, because let's be real, modern Aventus does not have any smokiness at all. I know some people talk about that and say, you know, oh, I got this 19 batch and it has smoke in it. Not the amount of smoke that these older formulations had. It's not even close. If you haven't smelled this stuff, then you don't really know what smoky Aventus is about. It is very, very intense. And in this case, this does give you that kind of heavy, dark, woody smokiness, even in a little bit all the way down into the dry down, which again does separate itself a little bit. As far as performance goes, this is a full-on parfum concentration, and they are using pretty high quality oils in the sense that it's not just like a duo fragrance where it's ultra oily, but it doesn't really last at all. I mean, these do last for a while, and you can smell this fragrance for a long time. I've even worn this and taken a shower, and I could still smell it off my skin pretty easily. So this thing will last you a long time. I would say at least 10 plus hours. And you don't need many sprays to, you know, really detect the fragrance. So in performance category, this thing is really solid in my opinion. Okay, so just in recap, because I know I gave you guys a lot of information on comparing these two fragrances right here. So this fragrance, the clone, Smoky Aventus, this does have a pretty solid pineapple, blackcurrant, kind of musky, vanilla, woody DNA in here that is very resembling of Aventus. Does it smell the exact same as Aventus? No, but it is pretty solid in my opinion, and definitely better than some of the other clones that are out there, like Point Being, Explorer, and some of those other ones that I mentioned earlier. And that kind of cheap, synthetic, like paint thinner thing I was talking about, I think that is coming from whatever they are using here to create that smoky effect, because I have tried, and I do own other Aventus clones from this house, and they do not have that. It's only this one that is trying to replicate that smokiness. So I'm pretty sure that that harsh quality is coming again from whatever they are using in this fragrance to create that smoky effect. It does kind of get you close to the smokiness. It's not a true smoky note. It doesn't smell like any kind of campfire smoke or anything like that, but it is heavy, it is woody, it is dark. So I think they're doing a pretty good job at getting you kind of close to that in that ballpark area. Again, performance, you know, really solid, 10 plus hours. Again, I've showered after wearing this thing and I could still smell it on my skin. So this thing lasts and lasts and lasts some more. Additionally, for the price, I think it is a good pickup. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this fragrance just because I do really like Aventus a lot, and nothing's ever gonna be able to match that for me, which is why for me, I do have a hard time like confidently wearing this fragrance. But if you're after something at a very good price that is kind of going after that older style Aventus DNA, I think this is a solid pickup for that specific reason. Okay, so now if you've stuck around long enough and you're a true fan, you're watching this video through, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway now. So like I said, I don't really have many instances where I'm gonna actually wear this fragrance, which is why I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. So you will receive this 30 milliliter bottle right here, not a different one. This is the only one I have. I'm gonna be giving you this bottle right here. You can see it is essentially full. I've only worn it a handful of times. Now, to enter the giveaway, you obviously have to like this video, you have to be subscribed to the channel, and you have to say Northwest I'm in, exclamation mark, in the comments, and I'm probably gonna put the instructions on screen as well just to make it easy. Additionally, if you can, please go follow me over on Instagram. That's not necessarily a requirement, but I would really, really appreciate that. So again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, then write Northwest I'm in, exclamation mark, in the comments, and please go follow me on Instagram if you can. So those are the instructions for the giveaway. Well, there you guys go. That was my review of the Smoky Aventus fragrance from the House of Scentual Obsessions. If you guys enjoyed this review, or if you learned something, maybe found it informative, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, maybe just let me know your thoughts, as well as some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.